Welcome back to Scouter Jeff Asks a Question. Today I'm going on camp. I'm so excited. But how do I pack for camp? What do I bring? So we're going to be tackling that question today. But first I want to say a huge thank you for watching the video. I hope this has a lot of good information in it and you're able to share it with other scouts and scouters to just give them another point of view as to how to do this stuff. So I'm going camping. Now there's one thing I always bring with me. Well, I guess really there's 10 things. These are my 10 Scout Essentials. I've gone over these essentials in another video, so watch that one. I'm not going to go through all 10 of them today, but it's just a great place to start for your weekend camp out. Now, this always comes with me, so I can bring 2 bags with me when I'm going car camping. This bag is more my day bag. It goes everywhere with me when I'm on camp. I mean, everywhere. It's glued to my back, and if it's not glued to my back, it's on the ground next to me. Okay? But then I also bring another bag to put in my tent. And it basically goes from the trailer to the tent. And there are a couple different ways to do that. One is just a standard duffel bag. Does not need to be a fancy duffel bag, just a duffel bag. Shove everything in there, put it in your tent. I'm not going to use that today. A little more specialized, backpacking backpack. Obviously I would use this if I'm going on a little bit more of an adventure. And carrying everything with me. I would only use this though if I was explicitly backpacking or if my campsite was too far away from my vehicle to just carry my stuff and drop it off. Okay, so this would only be used, for me at least, if I've got to hike further in order to get to my campsite for the night. So I'm not going to be using this tonight. As a basic starting off in Scouts, you're not going backpacking. You're going to be car camping, so your tent is going to be reasonably close to your trailer or your car, all right? So I would recommend, just to keep it simple, this might sound a little weird, but a plastic tub. This plastic tub just came from a local hardware store. It's waterproof, it's very stackable, it's big enough that everything fits in it, and it makes a great table in your tent. So you can't lug this very far. It'd be very uncomfortable to carry this to a campsite that's way out there. That's what the backpacking packs are for. But for just starting with Scouts, this is an inexpensive, easy way to bring your stuff to camp. It also keeps the critters out. So if you have some smellables, you can put them in there. Still recommend a bear box for your smellables, but in case you just got your toothbrush, it can go in there too. Keep the critters out. So what do I put in this thing? First thing I always take to camp, I bring my sleep system. So I've got my sleeping bag. I have a variety of sleeping bags. I live in Minnesota. It can be 100 degrees one day and negative 2 weeks from now, or so it seems. So I bring my sleeping bag. I have one that I bring with me on 80% of my campouts. For winter camping, I bring a different one, but most of my campouts, just this normal standard sleeping bag is perfect. You don't need to go too fancy on that, okay? I don't like sleeping directly on the ground, so I always bring a pad with me. There's a couple different types of pads out there. There's just a standard foam pad, which is pretty cost effective, and it works. And then there is more the fancy, this is more of a backpacking, blow up, inflatable camp bed, I guess. You know, they have pros and cons of each. If it's cold outside, the foam will do a better job of insulating your body from the ground, but the blow-up one might be a little more comfortable. Depends on your camping situation. But from a cost perspective, I would just stick with the foam. It works great. Okay, so that's going in my tub. And all my stuff is going to fit in this one tub. So I don't have a sleeping bag over there and my bag over my duffel bag over there. It's all in one spot. It makes it really easy to unpack. All right, next, everybody needs to eat. I get hungry. So I'm bringing my mess kit. This is just a standard plastic mess kit. All it's got, your basic utensils, fork, spoon, and knife. And then plate, bowl, and cup. That's all you really need. And my favorite part is it's in this little mesh bag. So when you pack it in the mesh bag, You can go find a tree branch after you've washed and sanitized your dishes. Go find a tree branch or something, hang it up, and it air dries the rest of the day until you're ready for your next meal. So this is a great way to eat. So that's going in to my tub. All right. I didn't bring any clothes down for today, but obviously you can bring clothes specific to your situation. If you're winter camping versus hiking out in Arizona, two very different situations. So make sure you're dressing appropriate for the climate that you're in and what you expect the experience to be. If it's going to be cold or wet, make sure to bring a couple extra layers, but do not overpack. If you are camping for a weekend, do not pack for a whole week. You do not need to do that. You can wear some of the same clothes twice if you need to. So just make sure you're not overpacking. That's very important. But one thing that's very important for me, at least, whenever I go on any adventure camping, is an extra pair of shoes in case my feet get wet. So these are my heavy-duty hiking boots. So if I go on a backpacking adventure, I'm going to be wearing these on my feet most of the time. But I'll still bring a pair of Crocs or a pair of sandals for something I can wear in camp that night to kind of give my feet a break. So always bring a separate pair of shoes, a secondary pair of shoes. Bug spray, enough said there, bring that. Let's see here, toiletry bag. Scouts, a Scout is clean. Bring your toothbrush, your toothpaste, a bar of soap, just basic toiletries for the weekend camp. If you're going to be at camp for longer than that, for the week, say, maybe plan on bringing some soap to shake a shower at some point and get cleaned up, along with a towel. But make sure the toiletry bag comes. Brush your teeth. Okay, so a couple more just personal items, things that I like to bring with me in the tent at night. I mean, I got my headlamp as one of my tent essentials right here. But I get tired of wearing that when I'm in my tent, so I just bring a small lantern with me. It's a small, portable, not a lot of batteries. I always make sure I check my batteries before I go to camp, and if I'm going to a longer camp, I'll make sure I bring extra batteries, especially for my headlamp, because it's a small headlamp. It takes 3 AAA batteries, but those batteries do run out reasonably quick. So just make sure you bring some extra batteries if you think you're going to be out there for a while. And then finally, I always bring just a couple games, deck of cards, mini chess set, just to help pass the time in camp if we're just having a laying low or it's raining and we're under a tarp or in our tents. Just some fun thing to keep me busy. All right? Things to not bring on camp would include your pets. Leave your pets at home, especially, I mean, the cat's staying here, but if you have a dog, don't bring the dog to camp. A lot of the scout camps don't even allow dogs in them. They can disturb the wildlife, and you want to be enjoying the natural setting that you're in to its fullest extent. So don't bring your pets with you. Electronic devices these are hard. I would recommend turning it on airplane mode so you're not getting those notifications, or just turning it off. But I want to be able to take a picture periodically. The camera on this is great. So be thoughtful and mindful of what you're doing with devices. I recommend just leaving them at home or leaving them in the vehicle when you get there. But also want to make sure you get the chance to take a picture of that epic sunset that you're seeing, or the moose that's wandering in the distance. So want to give you those opportunities too. But definitely don't bring any iPads, tablets, anything like that, computers. You don't need that when you're in the outdoors. You're there to have fun. Now, I'm ready to go. This, of course, assumes that your troop or unit has shared gear like tents and cooking equipment, tarps for rain flies to go over your picnic table, fire starting stuff for your fire pit, that kind of thing. So this is just more the personal gear side. I'm not going over the unit gear. So that's what I've got today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, spread it around. Hopefully we can just try to pass out some scouting information to, especially right now we're in virtual world of 2020, not to date the video, but just trying to come up with some new and different ways to spread information and help educate and explain and guide, explain and demonstrate how to do some of these things, so that we can start guiding scouts over Zoom or when we get back to being in person, and then enabling them to do this on their own. So that's all I've got for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, happy scouting.